Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Oh, and he's back just as we hit the live thing. Okay, switch over to 3. Look at that. Hello, everybody. Those spinning blue squares are Nakara, who's coming to us from the spinning blue square dimension, known as. Oh, there he is. Okay, good. I can stop talking. Down there is Shiver. Hi, Shiver.
Hello.
And I'm David.
I'm trapped down a well.
Stay there. Free water. Pretty good Wi-Fi. Free rent.
7 days.
Man, you'd have to try real hard to get good Wi-Fi in a well. Jesus.
Right. So I named the show this week because I misspelt things and decided to leave it. Glaxxacy class. Yep, it's
nice.
And
just
instead,
know, right? When you say I named the show this week, that's not to mean you know the first time ever you've named the show. You've always named the show.
That's true.
I just want everyone to realize this before we get the blame for everything.
Oh no! Everything is my fault.
Oh yeah.
Every single thing on Relay is my fault.
Blame David.
Hashtag blame David. I mean, it should be hashtag blame Jake, but
we've moved on from that.
I know.
Yeah, stop living in the past, man.
Never. Anyway, so I didn't want to do an intro because I'm really tired, and I decided that I'd let.
Hello and welcome to Relay Station, the stationiest, relayist, podcasteriest everything that you've ever seen in your life. Joining us this week is a twat with a beard and a jumper. It is, of course, otherwise known as Eris.
What's a jumper? I feel like
it's something you jump on.
I feel like here in the sane part of the world, a jumper is like like a piece of pants that girls wear. This is a blazer, Shiver.
A piece of pants?
A piece of pants.
All right.
I would like to point out to you that Australia calls flip-flops thongs.
I do know
so
that.
Do we.
I also know that... What does the UK call underwear?
Pants. It depends on the underwear, but pants.
And what do you call pants?
Underpants. Trousers. Like the rest of the
Trousers? No, because trousers are fancy pants. Pants is a universal catch-all for like jeans and sweatpants. And then you've got
don't you just
underwear.
Call jeans. And we call underpants, boxer shorts, and briefs. Strange concept, I know, calling something by its name, but that's
But how is it? How are underpants?
Hey guys,
pants? They don't have legs.
Has anybody ever known that this is a Star Citizen podcast?
And joining us, the voice of common sense, the kindest Canadian, the epitome of Canada, the Canadian himself, Captain Canada, Nakara.
That's me.
Captain Canada, real superhero.
He puts the can in Canada.
Not like.
But is he dry?
Hatfield or Wayne Gretzky? No, it's me.
Who's the most famous Canadian?
Bryan Adams.
And why?
No, William Shatner.
Justin Bieber.
William Shatner.
Yeah, probably Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber's more famous than William Shatner.
I don't know. We'll see who lasts the longest. William Shatner's been famous for far longer. Not necessarily a good kind of fame, let's be honest.
He's sort of a bad person.
Because Justin Bieber's a great person, is that what you're saying?
No, I am not. I am not. Ryan Reynolds, he's Canadian. He's pretty famous.
Is he? Wolverine, the character, is Canadian. Yep. He's pretty fucking famous.
He is. Ryan Reynolds is rumored to be wanting to buy the Ottawa Senators, which I think would be phenomenal.
Is rumored to want to buy the what?
Oh, why would he want to do that? He lives in Vancouver.
Yeah, but he wants a hockey team, and the Senators are one of the only available hockey teams, and also probably one of the cheapest hockey teams, to be honest.
Definitely one of the cheapest. That's definitely true. Yeah.
So the amount of available hockey teams for purchase is a bit of a dead pool, is what you're saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to whatever this is, which is basically what I call it every week. We should just change the name to that. Welcome to the Relay, whatever this is.
Relay, what the fuck ever.
Who knows?
Relay the fuck it.
We're going to talk about Star Citizen now, I think.
Are we?
Actually, I want...
Fuck it, let's do that.
Yeah, let's do that. Serious... No, hang on. Serious question. Eric, where's funding at?
The bank.
I do actually have to look because it's changing very fast.
Also, please tell me if audio levels are okay. I think I might be attached loud. I'll turn me down a little bit.
Now, what do you want to know, sir?
Well, where are they now on a year-over-year basis, and how much have they earned in IAE? Just because I'm curious.
Okay, I will find out. Takes a minute for the stuff to load. So
also, your monitor appears. Your monitor appears to be the surface of the sun.
Yeah, it's a very bright, very nice monitor. I will try to tamp that down a little bit.
That is much better.
That's better.
Next question. We're going to get into the Today Ship in a bit, but before we do, that ever-present question. Has anyone here purchased anything in the last week? And have any of you in chat purchased anything during the last week of sales? I personally, I think I talked about it last week, but I picked up a cutter because I like it. It's a cute little ship. Anyone else?
I have also picked up a cutter. I transmogrified my Aurora MR into a cutter because it's a way better starter ship.
I feel really bad for the Aurora and the Mustang now. Like they're just woefully underrepresented.
Honestly, it sort of screams that they're going to rework those two ships because they're so much worse than the Cutter.
Yeah. So much worse.
So I have your numbers for you if you would still like them.
Do it up.
All right. So so far they have made $98.9 million in 2022. And during IAE so far, they are at $14.5 million.
Not bad.
It's a lot, and it is notably they have made. Oh wow! Okay, right. That's what I was looking for. I believe for one of the first times ever, they have made well over over $3.5 million in the last 24 hours. I think that is the largest amount in a 24-hour period. So
that's insane. I guess the Galaxy is popular.
The Galaxy is exceptionally popular. The first hour that it was on sale, it made almost $1 million. Just a hair under. In the second hour, it made $670,000.
Pretty good. Shiver, you okay over there? You've been incredibly silent and
Give me
focused.
5 minutes and ask me that question.
Also, just as a comparison,
have I persuaded him to do a bad thing?
I wanted to do this. I've been sort of keeping an eye on this, but I wanted to compare this to last year's IEE because last year's IEE made $19 million or something total. And so far, they're a little over $1 million ahead of where they were last year. At the same point in time, during the sale. So they're on track for about $20 million during the sale, and it's impressive. People really like their JPEG ships. They make very nice ships.
Hope Sweden's going well. I want to go to Sweden someday.
Me too.
I actually have some family that are. I honestly don't know if they're in Sweden, Finland, or Norway right now. But one of my family members is.
You should probably put some trackers on them.
Well, no, they're posted there for the UN, and they
I
live
see.
there now. But I don't know which one they live in. But I've got a standing offer to visit them someday, and someday I'll get over my.
Make it really hard if you don't know what country they're in.
I mean, I'd ask before I go. Also, it's not like the countries are all that far to get from each other. They're sort of like joined at the hip.
I'm just gonna let all the people from Sweden, Denmark, Norway, and Finland tear you a new one.
Wait, Denmark isn't even on the same in the Scandinavian peninsula.
I didn't say Denmark. I said Sweden, Finland, and Norway.
I'm including it because it's possible that he got mixed up.
Welcome to Star Citizen. Welcome to the relay station. I hope you didn't come here for ships and instead came here for really horrible geography lessons.
Hey, ask me that fucking question again.
Hey, Shiver, have you bought any ships in this sale?
Yeah, I just bought RSI Galaxy. I upgraded my Valkyrie to one.
Oh yeah, nice.
It also has LTI.
That's a nice upgrade.
Yeah, I thought I'm not going to use the Valkyrie because the only thing I want to drop out of my ship are bombs and missiles.
Fair enough.
And I didn't want to get rid of the Connie Phoenix because, yeah, it's a Connie Phoenix.
Fair enough.
So I probably stupidly chose the Valkyrie over the Phoenix to get the Galaxy.
That's a choice. Anyone else? Anyone in chat? Has anyone else out there bought a Galaxy or anything else? And with that said, you know what? We should probably look and talk about that Galaxy that Shiver just bought, because I want to talk about it. because I have thoughts.
Yeah, tell me about this ship that I just bought.
Well, right off the bat, David hates 99% of ships, so I don't think we're in trouble.
And I have specific hatred for RSI ships. And
what about
honestly,
the Bengal carrier?
The Bengal is not an RSI ship. It is a RSI and
Aegis, I think.
Like Aegis ship. And I love most Aegis ships.
Technicality. So you hate half the ship.
Yeah, I don't. There's so much going on with this ship that I just don't like. Like there's like little triangles missing in the hull of it for some reason, and then it's got
speed holes.
Speed holes. Why does it have the spoiler from like the Origin
Speed.
The Origin 300 series? But it doesn't make sense. It's like the Idris with that like stupid hanging bridge that's just asking to be shot. Like it's just, I don't like the Galaxy. I like it.
That's fair.
I like it in theory. I really like that this is, and I mean, I think they said it on the shows a couple of times, but like, they haven't talked about modularity in a long time, to be honest. There hasn't been a new modular ship in a while, and it's really nice to see a new concept that's fully embracing modularity, because modularity is going to be fantastic, and it's doing it in a good way.
Can we talk about that a moment, please?
Of course.
There was a very vocal minority I noticed a while back that were just saying, no, modularity's gone. It's just gone. We haven't talked about it, so it's gone. Just because they don't talk about something.
Do you see those two empty triangles? Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't like them.
Yeah, but it's I think it's called the game of telephone. One person says, "Oh, I think because they haven't talked about it, then therefore modularity is gone." 20 people later, they're like, "Oh, CIG have confirmed modularity is not in the game," and it's like,
Eric, what do you think?
Confirm that.
But that's what I'm saying. It's how these rumors start. One person says, "Oh, I think this," and then it gets blown up and it gets changed with each retelling and stuff. And yeah, I do distinctly remember a minority of people out there actually saying, "Yeah, they're not going to bother with modularity anymore. It's not in the game. They haven't talked about it for like ever, so it's gone."
But like, so. And this is where
even that makes no sense to me, because they have talked about it, just not the way that people wanted them to talk about it. But the Carrack had modular bays.
Yep.
And they have talked about wanting to finish the Retaliator's modularity for a while.
Thank you.
It's their number one. Like, that will be the first ship where the modularity actually works, is the Retaliator.
Yep.
Is the Argo, the cute little one, is that technically a modular ship?
Yes. Yes, because you can swap out that back part.
Oh yeah,
that's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things I really liked about the Galaxy was that they put in it was in the ship page, but they mentioned that they do have plans for future modules beyond the 3 that they showed. The one that they specifically called out was manufacturing. So I think that's really cool. That they're going in on it. I do think it's really stupid that people thought they were going to go away from it. They had lots of ships that relied on modularity.
Endeavor.
The buildings are modular.
Yeah,
exactly.
True, it's on a designer level, but
we're also going to be able to get that modularity when we get player-facing building.
Well,
they haven't said that, so it's not in the game.
There's a lot of ships that don't really work if they're not modular, like the Caterpillar.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of that ship.
Yeah, and like I say, it was a minority.
I know, it was a tiny minority of people being morons. I know.
Yeah.
Wow. I really like
said that, but okay.
They were being morons. Yeah, they were. That's my opinion. I really like having more general purpose ships. I think I think that they're really nice ships for people to own because they can use them they don't need to buy a whole bunch of different ships. They can just outfit their ship for whatever they're doing that day. And it allows people to get way more invested in their ship if that's what they want to do, is fly one ship and do a whole bunch of stuff with it, you know?
So
I have the most important question first about the Galaxy. I know I think we've got the brain engaged. Too many ships. The little Misk Minor ship.
Oh, the Prospector.
Thank you. I know we've got a picture of that in scale with that ship, but what other ships are comparative size? I know they mentioned in the VOD it's like a constellation in a way, but pardon?
Just a moment.
I'm just saying, hey.
What is the scale size compared to a constellation? Because they have got the picture with the constellation, but we don't know the distance.
I think they said it was the Connie's big brother, so it's going to be bigger.
It's more like a Carrack competitor, is it not?
It is 110 meters long.
It's a 6-person ship. It's more like a Carrack.
It's 110. Okay. Yeah, it's about the same size as it's in the same size class as the Carrack for sure.
So here's the problem. I'm gonna bring into this the problem that I bring up literally every single show. The Carrack and the Galaxy and things of that size are six-person ships. The Connie and things of that size are 4-person ships. The Cutlass and things of that size are like a 2-person ship. And then there's the Freelancer, which for some reason is a 4-person ship. And it shouldn't be.
Is the Cutlass 4? 3 or 4 for the Cutlass?
It's got 2 seats.
It's got a rear turret too.
David, I already explained this to you last time. The reason Freelancer has 4 seats, they already talked about it. It's so that you can sell the extra seats to passengers and make more money for yourself.
Never seen Eric get so fucking stressed. Wow.
It's just, I'm not stressed. I'm just like, I already explained this to him like last week.
You know, when you say, I'm not stressed, really convinces me you're not stressed.
But it's a dumb thing. That's like that's like me selling the seat beside me in my car to someone who wants to take a trip
like
with
Uber.
Me.
Oh, what? Yeah, exactly.
But we have ships. Because we have ships specifically designed for that. Sorry, this isn't like me selling the ship.
We have buses and taxis that are specifically designed for it now.
Hang on, because this isn't like me selling a seat in a car in the back like a taxi. This is like me saying, hey, you want to sit on the bench beside me in my Ford F-150 that's full of stuff in the back? Like, it's like selling... No.
Yes, please.
There are no truck taxis, okay? Trucks don't make good taxis.
If I want to get to somewhere, I don't care what I'm sat in. I want to care how I get there.
I think the comparison
I don't care how I get there. I just want to get there if can.
The comparison here is Serenity, right? She's a cargo ship, and they take on passengers, so it doesn't cost as much money to live.
But what is the crew size of Serenity?
Well, they don't have a pilot anymore.
6, I guess.
It's 6. It also has 2 one-person ships.
Yep.
Right? The Serenity is more...
No, I'm not talking about size. I'm just talking about the idea. The idea is you have this ship where you could sell the extra space so that you can make more money.
It just doesn't work with the Freelancer.
Owner.
Why not? It just doesn't work.
Why do you not want to allow people who own a Freelancer to sell the extra seats on their ship?
Because the extra seats...
by this. It's great.
What? Because
I love how you are both just so offended by it.
All right.
I am very angry.
I'll move on.
It's great.
I'll move on. The Galaxy, I don't like it. I'm glad it exists.
You don't like it aesthetically, right?
I don't like it aesthetically. I like it like stat-wise and purpose-wise. I love it. I love the like lots of like just this is actually something I was trying to say earlier before we got into the freelancer. I'm sorry, but like I've got a group of friends that I play games with on a regular basis. We've got Thursday night game nights that we always play games, and there's 5 of us. And it significantly limits the number of games we can play because most games are limited to 4 people. Arbitrary limit, 4 people. But we've got 5 of us. Something like the Glaxxacy would be perfect for us. There's 5 of us. We all slot into the Glaxxacy. We can, swap. And this is exactly what they were talking about in the ISC about it. Is that's what it's for. Like it's for a group of friends that want to try out a bunch of different things. They can change what they're doing every night. It's perfect. I love that. I just hate how it looks. It's just
Go Shiver.
So Urban Burger asks what happens to the modular area of the Glaxxacy when no modular installed. I imagine there's 2 routes that they're going to go, possibly 3, I suppose. One, it just will not fly. You just cannot fly it unless it's got some module in there. Second option is maybe there's just a blank module where it's just a corridor or something that doesn't really do anything. The third one is it will always have some kind of module in it, which I suppose ties in with 2.
I would think it would be at least. Wait, do you have to pass through the module to get to the back of the ship?
Yes.
Okay, then you can't fly without a module, is my guess. So you would probably go to like a starbase, or not starbase, you know what I mean, like a ship dock of some kind, and get it swapped over.
They are selling it without a module.
They're selling it without the module, so there has to be something there. Otherwise,
but is it?
Well, not necessarily. Maybe they could just be like,
are you sure
buy it without a module, save real life money, and then only spend UEC to get a module in game, so it'll fly.
So the base one, what does the base one look like then? In there.
Well, that gets answered.
No, because it's
one complaint about it.
What's that?
And Eris is going to like this. That fucking bridge. How am I supposed to look down when I'm flying this?
You can't.
So yeah. I don't actually believe that they're selling it with no module. They're selling it as freighter, hospital, and refinery. So the base model is the freighter, which is just cargo.
No, you can buy it as a standalone for $350.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what I got.
Oh wow, I didn't see that one. I think they might have to answer that. Can you fly the $350 version?
Yes,
more importantly.
Well, no, it's not
what
even.
You expect us to do?
Yes, you can. My very strong guess there is that it's just
empty space,
like a corridor or just an empty space there.
It's probably just room for It's probably room for cargo that you can fit in there, but you don't have the benefits of the freighter version, which is the arms and the lift. But you can probably drive stuff in.
That makes sense. Yeah,
just
maybe no cargo grid,
space.
But it's just empty space. Yeah.
Yeah,
and you don't have the cranes to move stuff around. You don't have the lift to bring stuff up. But yeah, that makes sense.
They do answer that in the photos you're showing in the video.
Okay. Which photo?
I don't know. I can't control the video. I'm sorry. They do make the lift very expensive, but the lift is also very useful. So, I get it. Shiver, you just bought one, so I want you to have the last word on the Glaxxacy. Yeah, sorry, Samuel, I can't actually control the video. I am eternally grateful to Haramis, who does all the videos so that we can show them. Yep. He puts it together every week, and I'm eternally grateful. Can't say that enough. But I don't.
I wish you had more guns.
We should have more guns.
I like
That's
guns.
fair.
I like combat. That's mostly it. But multi-crew is, for me, and I know a lot of other people, the biggest selling point for Star Citizen. I've been indulging myself in playing Pulsar with some friends lately, which is a fun little game, tiny fun little game. Obviously not got the depth of Elite, let alone Star Citizen, or what Star Citizen's aiming to do. But yeah,
there.
This is
right where it
6
showed
people.
the layout
gimme,
there.
Gimme.
Right where it showed the layout there, it showed just an empty room. Let me actually just restart the video.
Oh, I see that. Okay.
I'm going to restart the video because I do want to say two things. Yeah, it's 2 decks. One, really quickly, there's just too much empty space. Like all of that space on the sides is just empty, and I don't like it. It's just there, and there you can see at the center there.
Yeah, how dare it have a hull? Jesus,
it's a really big hull.
I'm wondering if that's going to be, they've stuffed components in there, and if there's going to be the equivalent of Jeffrey's tubes for engineers.
I hope so. I would really like that. There's just too many gaps and things. Anyway.
Yeah, it'd be cool, wouldn't it? I do genuinely want that on especially larger ships. For engineers is to go crawling around in these dangerous places in the middle of combat to repair things. That's exciting. Imagine that in VR as well.
The other thing I wanted to ask, and I know that it's not, but like they have some decent looking later in this video, they have some decent looking models of the ship flying around. How long do you think it's going to be until we see this?
They do all of their concepts in 3D now, so every ship always has a 3D model.
Yeah, but how long do you think it's going to be until we see the Galaxy? I think
if they start making it right away, it'll be a year.
I do think it's important that we talk about this when we're talking about new ships, because like this is a concept ship. It's not coming for a while. Don't buy one expecting to hop into one anytime soon. I would feel bad if we didn't bring up that point.
There is a glimmer of hope, depending on what they choose to do, and this is the outside chance. All right, don't go complaining to CIG saying, "Oh well, Shiv said this." All right, this is an opinion only, not guaranteed. Do not stick your hand in the fire. That if they want to move on with modularity, that this could be the testbed ship for it. So we may see it in the nearer future, but I would guess a more educated guess would be that's going to be the modular ship they do testbed on. It's a Tally.
It's smaller. It's easier to do. And they have to do rework on it anyway. They know that.
Yeah, I will say two things. I will say two things that might give the Galaxy some hope of being, relatively sooner. Is the Connie and the Aurora really need some reworking.
They sure do.
RSI's design language is fairly robust, but CIG have made it clear that they really like making bigger ships first and then working backwards to the smaller ships.
Yeah.
Galaxy's new, but it's a big ship, and it might be...
Only Eric's going to get this. But we won't see it until the Utopia Planitia fleet yards are online anyway. I'm surprised that Eric's got that, but Eric didn't.
I don't know if we lost Eric. I think we lost Eric.
Oh.
Okay. That's been a half hour of talking on the Galaxy. I'd like to move us on a little bit.
Conclusion.
Not a ton, but
it's a nice ship.
Conclusion. It's a nice ship in theory, but just...
Well, if...
You know what?
Hang on. What if, right? Every other manufacturing company is going to get a modular equivalent.
I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I will say...
I'm going to get rid of the Galaxy, and I'm going to go with Aegis.
Yeah. I will... Crusader. I want a modular Crusader ship. I want a Crusader mug. Crusader make the best. Anyway, I want to do a quick plug here. because we haven't done a bullship episode in a long time. There's actually been 17 ships. I'm gonna. He's gonna drop soon, and I'm gonna have to move this, but I'll manage.
I'm the Nakara now.
Oh, wait, he's back. No. Welcome back. I want to say this really quickly.
Eric, they can't bring the Glaxxacy class ship out until they have the Utopia Planitia fleet yards running.
Good point.
Okay, I wanna say a quick thing. Because we haven't done a bullship episode in a long time. I believe there's 17
Eric,
ships.
Did you know we haven't done a bullship episode for quite some time? I wondered what happened with that series.
Well, it was always bullshit, so.
That's true.
We're 17 ships behind.
What was his favorite ship in bullshit?
Oh, well, you're making me look at stuff? Oh my god!
No, I'm just trying to distract him from finishing his sentence at this point.
You're just trying to screw him
over. It was the Endeavor.
Me on the base all the time.
It was the Endeavor, because the Endeavor is the. Actually, no, sorry. There are 2 ships that got unique letter grades: the Tonk, which got a T for Tonk, because obviously, and the Endeavor, which got a U because CIG didn't give it one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Thank you.
Okay. I like that.
I want to say we will do a catch up bullshit real episode at some point, probably when CIG are on hiatus at some point. But I have started to. I'm 1 video into it. I'm doing quick 60, 1 minute, 2 minute long videos of the bullshit ships that I did. I put it on TikTok, Twitter, Hive, and I've put it in our Discord. If anyone wants to see it, I started with the Aurora, and the next one up is the Cutter.
It's got a great script. I like it.
Yeah. Yes, sure.
Mr. Eris.
Yes.
Can it be Nakara's turn next time we do bullshit?
Like Nakara's turn to rate them?
Yeah.
No, he doesn't want me to rate them.
No, this all stemmed from the article Eris rates ships because.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know this was a military junta.
It is. Absolutely. Look, thing is, Shiver, okay, to be completely honest here, Shiver, you don't want Eric to rate ships. Because you know what Eric will do?
Yes, I fucking do!
No. Here's why you don't. Because Eric will be reasonable and have reasonable opinions, and then you won't be able to yell at him about them.
No, I can yell at you when you disagree with him, though.
That's okay. I'll give my own opinions alongside his. Don't worry.
Yeah, I think we should let the people decide. We should all get a rating on this if we're going to do this.
Is David going to get fired?
You know what? Fine.
No, he's going to get hired for life. Worse.
Already been hired for life. Fine. Next bullshit, we'll do the catch-up. That was in the fine
print years ago.
Next bullshit, we'll do a catch-up, and then we'll do a couple episodes where we get your 2 scores on everything as well.
Ooh, that'd be awesome. Let's do it.
Yeah. And we'll have a full series of scores. I've got an Excel.
We gotta bring this.
And then we'll have a fucking audience rating, fucking 2.
Yeah, we should. 2? I want to know what the audience thinks. Amazing. We can do polls.
Yes.
I like this. We can have polls. Okay.
Amazing.
See, you thought I was just being cheeky for the sake of being cheeky, but there was method to the madness.
Come on, Shiver, you were being cheeky for the sake of being cheeky, and it turned out well.
Also,
it was both.
I mean, I think I deserve a little bit of an applause for rebooting that fast. It was obviously entirely up to me, but
I didn't even have to switch over to the 2-person. Well done.
Thank you.
A plus. Okay.
Stupid computer. It does not like having Star Citizen idling in the background. I've realized that it really doesn't like that at all.
Okay, I've moved us on from the Glaxxacy. We can now talk about the C8R Pisces. Quickly, Eric, then Shiver, what do you think of the Pisces?
I love it. Really, little ambulance like this is such a cool thing to have for a lot of players who are interested in medical, and even in combat. Even having one of these things around so you can go rescue your buddy out of a shitty situation, or a cave, because these would fit nicely into caves. Great thing to have. Basically, it's just got a tier 3 bed, so it's just for getting your buddy back to a real hospital, but or healing a tier 3. Sometimes tier 3 injury is all you got, but if someone has a worse injury, at least the bed can stabilize them. Anyway, that's me.
Shiver.
All right.
All right.
Needs a siren.
It has.
It
Oh
has
yeah.
the
Well, it has the lights. You
It
can't
needs-
hear
needs
it in
a
space.
space siren.
Yeah.
What it needs is a siren that like inserts itself into other people's comms.
That's what I'm thinking. It's like a virus that goes into other ships. And oh my god, that'd be amazing.
I want to make 2 points about this ship. One, I like it. It's good. We need more small medical ships. I really like actually that, and I saw someone mentioning this on Twitter. I think it was maybe Glitched in Orbit had mentioned it. Glitched in Orbit, by the way, made a fantastic set of Stream Deck icons for Star Citizen for all of the different keybinds, and it's really good, and I'm using it, and props to them. But the C8X has a little, and I think you can see it at some point in this video coming up, a little bay that opens, like you can open a little drawer, and there are usables in that drawer. And I believe that this is the first ship that has that included. It's got like medipens and some food and some water, and that is so fucking good. Like, every ship needs to have this. This is huge, incredibly big deal, because how many times you've been out there on a mission and you're like, shit, I'm thirsty, I need a bottle of water, don't have any, guess I have to fly back to a fucking city and buy one, land, go out, but like C8X Pisces, A+ just for that.
Coffee machines.
Sorry, can you repeat that again? None of that came through.
Workable, usable coffee machines.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I actually just realized this when I was reading on Reddit. Somebody was like, "Oh, thank God they fixed the Redeemer's fridge." The Redeemer has a fridge and it's full of stuff.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the Redeemer has a fridge and it's completely full of like stuff when you buy it, and
Wow.
so it has a bunch of food and drinks in there.
Now I have I had one question about the Pisces. Go ahead.
There is something very fishy about that ship, though.
What's that? Is it a Pisces?
Anyway,
where's its tail? I have two very important questions about this ship. One, when you land it and like click refill all to like heal and refuel and refill its ammo, does it refill that little box of stuff? Because it needs to.
It's something that should be tested out, because that would be amazing, and it should totally do that.
Somebody needs to test that and tell me if that happens, because it needs to, and CIG need to make sure that that happens on this and on
that should be the. And I think it probably does, and I think that's why the button says restock instead of like rearm. Like, it gives you missiles, but I think it also restocks everything else in your ship as well.
I hope so. I want someone to test that and tell me, because I don't have anything I can test it on, but you should test it on you.
This is just something I want to talk about earlier, so I'm going to mention it very briefly. This is back in the Galaxy, but my computer died. One of the things I noticed is that the Polaris, the Perseus, and the Galaxy are all very similar design, because they're RSI ships, but they are very similar design. I get the feeling that at some point they're just going to go hard on those three ships, and they'll all be made more or less at the same time. Because I think if they get one building set for one of those ships, they'll be able to make all three of them pretty fast, but they have to get to the point where they decide to do that.
And they can actually do that a lot more easily with large ships too, because the large ships have these rooms, and you know,
a corridor.
You've got the outside layer, and you've got the inside layer, and you've got the corridors, and you can just make it out of the materials that you already have, and it's great for them. It's why they've actually said that the Banu Merchantman is such a problem, because none of it is like, it's all
organic,
bespoke. It's all bespoke
and curvy.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, but my second question with the Pisces is something that someone can actually probably answer for me right now. If you are seriously wounded, like 20 seconds from death, will a tier 3 bed keep you stable until someone's able to get you to a better facility?
Yes, and that was they talked about it, and that was kind of the idea with it was to stabilize people until you could get them to a better hospital.
Okay, that's good.
And one of the things I really liked about this is they actually called out its ability to work as a solo ship. Like, you can use this ship on its own. They're like, it's really good for bunker missions. You can go and fly it there. You can go inside and fight the baddies, and then come out and heal yourself and continue on your way. Do another bunker mission. You know.
Do you think healing will eventually have like ammo for healing?
It is supposed to. Yes. I think it already does, actually, but maybe it's just because we reuse it. We just get a new med gun.
Yeah. Well, no. I know the med guns are do and are supposed to, but do you think it'll have it in a ship?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
To know.
It depends how they decide that the med beds work.
Yeah. So the rest of the videos are all the IAE specials, which I'm gonna
if
put
anyone
them on.
Has not been watching Jax.
Oh, sorry.
Go
sure.
watch Jax.
The Pisces is going to be really good for racing, I believe, because obviously dangerous, and in the future you're going to need a ship that can just very quickly zip out there, get person on board, and get out before the Razor comes flying by, or the next M50 comes flying by. And it's also going to be something like that that's just instantly adds an extra layer of immersion to it, because you're watching this race, you see someone get hurt, ambulance comes out, gets scooped up, goes back. Just how it naturally happens. I like it.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, my computer's being such a jerk right now. Isn't that fun?
I will be right back in like 2 minutes. Please talk about the IAE and Jax, because the Jax videos have been just spectacular.
Yes. I hope everybody's been enjoying IAE so far. It's always a lot of fun. But if you haven't been watching all of the IAE little shorts every day that they've been doing, they're now on part 9, I believe. They have been absolutely fantastic. And each video gives you like a little glimpse of something from Pyro, Jax messing around. Whether it be, merchants, or the Banu Merchantman, or one of the planets, or Ruin Station, lots of things to see. They're all a lot of fun, and check them out. Have you seen these videos, Shiver?
I just saw Wild Luck cassette, and he's right. I have not.
You should go watch them when you have some time. They're, combined, I think the 9 videos are maybe like 15 minutes long. So you should check them out.
I'll wait for them all to be released so I can just sit there and do the equivalent of binge watching for 20 minutes or something.
For sure. I'm getting I'm really excited for Pyro. It's going to be really interesting to have an entirely new star system to explore. I love that they're continually teasing bits of it in this series.
It's a great example of, hopefully things to come, of how they're also going to tease things in game or even later in stages in development of what is to come by using the game itself to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Absolutely. One of the things I really like too is that, and I've sort of noticed this for a while, but it really comes to the fore when they do things like this, is their characters and what's the best way to put this? Their characters and their ability to tell a story in the game is really, really impressive in these videos. And it gives me an enormous amount of hope for Squadron 42, but also for Star Citizen in the future once, it's easier to get NPCs to actually do what you want them to do. But like their character work in these videos or all their videos recently goes to show you that, first of all, I think they've had a lot of practice in Squadron, and secondly, I'm very happy with the quality. So I am excited to see what it's going to be like. Plus, we got to see crabs.
It's the detail that's in it that's adds so much to it. The grass is swaying. There's a small light bit of dirt, dust being kicked up. Things being responsive, and you wouldn't have noticed that. You would have just sat there and accepted it without that. But they've gone that extra bit of craziness just to add to it, and it all adds up. It's very significant that it's just this. It's most likely it is sort of pre-rendered, but it is pre-rendered using the game assets without them having to fuck around too much, having to animate everything because the game's done it for them. Well, they've had someone else. You know what I mean?
Yep, for sure.
Hey there, Wild Lurker. Thanks for not lurking. I can't wait for. I'm really glad that CIG added more racing like venues, and I really hope that they support those racing venues with like stuff set up around those racing venues to support them. Places for mechanics, places for people to get food and beverages, like the whole lifeblood of racing, because racing is important. People love it. I don't, but I want CIG to go all in. Now, another thing I wanted to say quickly, because I was listening to you guys as I was upstairs. Pyro's done, right? Like the reason, close to done. But one of the main reasons that Pyro hasn't been added is right now it would break the game. They need PES, they need other stuff. How much of what they're showing us? So this is just me thinking out loud. They're showing us a lot.
Help us.
I know, I'm sorry. They're showing us a lot in these Jax videos. They're phenomenally crafted. Like here they're showing us the Glaxxacy, which looks fun. I mean, it's a really quick view, but it's cute. But they've shown us the interior of Ruined Station. They showed us some like environmental stuff. But then they did show us that crab.
Yep.
And they have told us that they're working on, the first creatures. So do you think that with Pyro, is that crab going to be our first creature? Are we going to get it with Pyro? Is it like is that what we're going to start getting in Pyro? Is this look at Jax? Like Jax specifically left to Pyro last year and didn't come back. And we're not getting a normal IAE video, right? Because normally IAE Jax runs through all the different ships that were new in that year, and he tries things out, and it's all about the ships. This isn't about the ships. He's still talking about the ships and all of them, but it's a lot more about Pyro. And is this more here's what y'all are gonna get in Pyro? Because if it is, I'm excited.
Yes, to an extent. I think that the talk about all the gangs and the like way the gangs are acting is definitely a way of like showing you how all there's gonna be all these different characters in Pyro. Because we know that there's a whole bunch of different gangs and they all have their own.
I need to interrupt you really quickly. I'm sorry, but this scene right here, where what's his face shows up, Jimmy nearly cried. Honestly, nearly cried. I was genuinely happy.
I love the hit reactions. Or he keeps getting hit and he's just like, whoa, jeez.
Heavy armor. Yes, yep. I was genuinely ecstatic to see Jimmy show up. Okay, I don't care.
That's pretty good.
Sorry, pretty good. My apologies.
Yes, I do think that they are at least in some way broadcasting like what they're expecting Pyro to be like. I suspect I wouldn't want to say that yes, absolutely there are going to be crabs on that planet that they showed at the launch of Pyro. But obviously they want to do it. They obviously have the creature design there. But yeah, I do think that Pyro is ostensibly more or less complete. Server meshing is really what they need. They can't do Pyro without it. So 4.0. We'll see.
Shiver, any thoughts there?
I'm going to be the cynical one. I'm afraid, just to set expectations to a different place. Of this is what they're aiming for. This is the target. This is, beta or 1.0 release. That's what they want. But I don't think it's going to be this level of interaction, interactivity, NPCs this alive, possibly no crabs. I would not be surprised if they went, all right, so Pyro's online, there's a building, NPCs aren't in it, no crabs, and it's just kind of nothing there.
Do you think this
just
is
to
more
set expectations to a different level?
So, I actually don't know if CIG have confirmed this.
Not besmirching anyone or saying that they've done nothing, just saying that this is a possibility for any reason.
Completely fair. Now, and I don't actually know if CIG have like straight up said this. I feel like they have, but I could just be, I'm a dad and I have no energy anymore hallucinating. But is Pyro essentially going to be 4.0?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so then the question is, do you think that this will come in 4.0? More interactability, crabs?
No. I think that it could. I think it really depends on how server meshing goes. It's very possible that putting server meshing in completely breaks the game. It takes them 6 months to fix it again. Like it's but really hard.
That's all going to be not just 4.0, like 4. 4.0, 0.1, 0.2.
Yes.
Oh, yes, spread over the development cycle of
4.4. This is
the 4 series. Yes, I do expect all of creatures will be in. There'll be more systems. There will be blah 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 blah. I do think that there will be a lot more in for the 4 series. Yes.
2 things. One, what do you in chat think? Are we going to get like a lot more of this in the 4 series? I'm genuinely curious what everyone thinks. And 2, and I'm going to put this to both of you. Which one of you wants this first? You don't know what it is yet, but which one of you wants this first?
Me.
Eric.
Okay, Eric. Well done. Eric takes this first. Chat, I want your views on this as well. We know that 4 is Pyro. What's 5?
My gut says 5 is release.
Like
I think
5 is 1.0?
I think 4 is going to be basically beta, and it will run for a very long time. And then 5 will be Star Citizen release version 1.0.
You think 5 is going to be 1.0? Wow.
Yeah, wow.
I think that, yeah, no, I do, and I think that's. I just think they're going to stick with Star Citizen 4 point something until Star Citizen Alpha 4 point something until they're. Well, I guess that would be Alpha. I don't know. I suspect there's the they have their, if they can get server meshing working, and all they need to do at that point is like add more systems to get to something that they consider a release version, then I think that is what they will do. But I don't know. It's so hard to tell. I keep thinking this game is going to be like Warframe, and just like, it'll be in beta until like the end of time.
Shiver?
God, I sound really jaded now. Shit. I hope that 5.0 under the hood, as Urban Burger has said, dynamic server meshing. It's getting in some proper optimizations that can be locked down. Final core. I don't even think this. I suppose this counts as core tech, physics grids, all of that locked in, and they're like, we're happy with this. This is going to work. Dock ships together, dock whatever. But where it gets jaded is, I would imagine, not release, but maybe multiple systems, 2 new systems, maybe more, and jump. Is it jump gate travel? Jump point travel.
Shiver, we have to have that in 4.0.
I think they're going to find a way around that with 4.0 of just, here's a gate, blup, oh, you're out the other side.
They've already been working on it for like a year or 2.
We'll have to see.
Maybe they'll get like a fuller system during the release of 4, but I would imagine on release it's going to be, do you want to go to Pyro? Yes, no.
I mean, I think most people will choose their spawn locations as Pyro after this, but
yeah.
Okay.
But I'm thinking 5.0, several systems, the full jump point system, navigating your way through, random spawns of new jump points to take you there, that kind of full-on malarkey.
So here's my thinking. I wanna insert my own opinion now, because that's what I do. I feel like 4.0 will be the same sort of like, we're going to get a new system. They're going to fix up a lot of additional systems. They said last year, God, I genuinely can't even remember. Was it last year that they said that they really want to focus on getting tier 0 of all of the different gameplay loops in?
That was this year.
That was this year? Okay. I feel like next year and the journey of 4.0 is going to be that getting a second system, figuring out how it works, making sure server meshing works. I honestly think that 4.0 could even see dynamic server meshing, possibly, but more tier 0 gameplay loops, possibly.
They can't do dynamic server meshing without static server meshing.
Yeah, so... but won't that happen in 4.0?
Yeah, you're saying the 4 series would have dynamic.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
Not 4.0.
During the course of the life of
4.0 is a very specific patch.
I apologize. During the course of 4. I just 4 point whatever. During the course of 4 point whatever, I feel like we're still in alpha. Let's get in server meshing. Let's get in dynamic server meshing. Let's test out a new system. Let's maybe, honestly, I think we might even get a second system in 4X. I think they're going to try and get those Tier 0 gameplay loops in, and I feel like 5 would be beta, because we're still in alpha.
I am cynical. I am cynical and jaded. I'm sorry, everyone.
No, it's not. No, I'm thinking. I'm thinking of as a like. If we think back to their pillars, right? Pillar talk, 2-3 years ago, whenever it was. Like, they're almost done the pillars.
Okay, one of the things I wanted to mention here, and the reason I said what I said, the 3 series is going to have lasted almost 5.5 years. Okay.
Yeah. 4 can last.
Like, people are saying like 5.0 is dynamic server meshing. I'm assuming that 4 will be the same as 3, right? And then it will go on for years and years and years and years and years, and the game will be done by then. And then they will go to release. That's why I said what I said. I don't think it's going to be a year or 2 years.
I don't think they're going to go to release. That's my only disagreement, is I don't think they're going to go from alpha to release. I think 5.0 will be beta. They're going to
in
beta.
Fairness,
they're going to stay in beta for a couple years. Go ahead, Shiver. Sorry.
It's very much, if CIG want to called an end to 4XXX after one patch, and then say we're now on 5. Yeah, that's how it's going to be. It's completely arbitrary. It doesn't. So yeah, Eric has got a very good point there, in that it's arbitrary to an extent of, we're going to dump numbers this time. We're going to go to letters now.
To give you an idea of why I said what I said, my view of the end of that was, okay, at the end of the 4 series, we have dynamic server meshing. Everything more or less works. We have all the professions. Most of the ships are done that can be done. And we have like 5 or 6 star systems.
Yep.
And now they're ready to move on to whatever comes.
Yeah.
But you're right. They probably would move to an official beta patch before they went to live.
I think they would move.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to.
Basically,
sorry, Shiver.
We could all be completely correct, and at the same time, not every single aspect of what we said is correct.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if you're right, Urban Burger, if they just decide, hey, maybe we should like show more outward progress by calling this 5.0, with dynamic server meshing. I wouldn't say, it is a big leap, but it's also a leap that, like, I would imagine static server meshing gets you a good portion of the way to dynamic server meshing. Not all the way there, obviously. But,
Hey, Kemi.
Hey, Kemi.
Hey, Kemi.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
No, I want you to finish your thoughts. Sorry.
But I don't know. Like, I know they want to get to dynamic server meshing, but I don't think they even really know. Like, they need to see how static server meshing works before they're going to have a really good idea of exactly what they need to do to get from there to a system that can handle dynamically and scale up and scale down, without any intervention from the outside.
My only thought is that will all be over the course of a 4.x.
Yeah, I would agree, but you never know what they're going to do from a corporate.
And it's true, but I can't see them not full launching Star Citizen with, and let's say like Samuel says, they're 2024, 2025, 10 star systems. And this is just my thought, and based on the historical coverage that Star Citizen has gotten, if they launch 1.0 Star Citizen Persistent Universe with 10 systems, whether it's good or not, people are going to bitch to no end. So I genuinely don't think that they can go from like a 4x to launch. I think that they're going to have to be in like you Eric, you referenced Warframe a couple of times.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to have to be in a beta for, honestly, probably between 5 and 10 years.
It wouldn't surprise me though.
I think they're going to have to do an alpha. We're still in alpha. 4.0 is still going to be alpha. It's still getting the core tech for the game. But once those 5 pillars, was it 5 pillars? Once that pillar talk, those 5 pillars are done, that's the core tech. Your alpha is your core tech. Your beta is your systems and your performance improvements and like adding to the gameplay, but that's all your beta. And then release is like I don't think they can 1.0 release without, like, I don't know, conservatively, and step in, you guys, because this is me being, I'm taking a cynical viewpoint here. I do not believe that they can 1.0 launch without 50 systems, without being eviscerated for it, honestly. 50-star systems.
I don't think they'd be eviscerated for it. It's easy enough to explain away. Like, they didn't have, like, their planets weren't explorable, and when they made the 100 systems call.
Sure.
Oh.
And chat.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
personally, if they release with 10 systems, as long as there's the full game and gameplay associated with it, I don't give a fuck. 10 systems is a lot of game space. But
don't be personal,
the
though.
public perception.
There we go.
Public perception, however, could be very different. It could have been the best game that ever released, and it only has 10 systems, and people who want to pick out on that and take digs will say, it only released on 10 systems, and they promised 100 on release. And, CIG could have already done a statement that said, yes, every single day after release, we're going to release a new system. That will get ignored in favor of the headline that gets the clicks, and that's outrage.
Yeah.
I mean, they kind of they're screwed on that anyway. I think they just release whenever they decide they're ready. There's no way they can get around it. They're not going to get to 100 systems in any reasonable amount of time, unless they just decide to do the Warframe thing, and just
do they stay in beta
for like 15,
it
20
depends.
years.
I don't know, man. They've done a lot of wonders with procedural tech, and if they can procedurally generate most of it, then it's a simple matter of getting teams together of, this is a Galaxy team, this is a system team, this is a planetary team, this is an individual hab team.
This is why they bought Turbulent.
Well, they didn't buy Turbulent. They're not part of CIG at all.
I know, but this is why they've hired on Turbulent to be part of the
they've contracted them.
They contracted Turbulent to be part of it. Is it just me, or is this taking a shitload of time to load? Sorry, complete aside, but I'm not loading it. I just wanted to look at the cutter. It's not loading. I'm gonna Alt F4 and try and relaunch this. My apologies. Give me a moment. What I wanted to say was, I can't remember.
In the break, I'll quickly say that Samuel AI, forgive me, has got an extremely valid, great point. The key is not all star systems are hero systems, not hard to make.
That's what I wanted.
Very, very true.
Yes, and sorry, thank you for bringing that up, because that's actually what I wanted to touch at, because your statement there, Samuel, I'm just going to call you Samuel, because that's what I've been doing, and because I'm really tired and drinking too much. Don't drink too much, kids. It's not good.
Don't drink, kids. Drink when you're an adult, responsibly.
I actually firmly disagree with that, but that's a topic for not now. I think that
we're on Twitch. We legally have to say that.
I know. I don't care. Anyway, I think that
God, there's going to be a fucking huge wraparound of push cars outside your house. All these 5-year-olds going, well, Eris said it was alright. I drank before I went driving.
I think that if you tell children and especially teenagers that there's something that they absolutely cannot do, they're going to do everything in their power to do that thing. If you instead explain to them the thing and allow them to do the thing in controlled and safe circumstances, then that thing is going to lose a lot of its power, and they might quickly discover
glue sniffing.
That good God, alcohol is not tasty. It doesn't taste good.
So, I'm getting an inside view here of Eris's parenting. It's like, so glue sniffing, kids. We're going to talk about that. Here's this big bottle of very toxic glue. Shove it up your nose and have a good sniff of that. Isn't it horrible? Don't ever do that again.
Okay, so what Samuel said is something that we really need to remind everyone of, because not only are star systems not hero worlds, we do have a limited number of hero worlds, and CIG actually started with one of the hardest ones in what's our giant all city planet? I can't remember. ArcCorp. ArcCorp is actually I'm actually not drunk at all. I'm bloody
joking,
exhausted.
David.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm so tired. I don't even.
Have you tried sniffing glue?
Not yet. Open close. ArcCorp is a really good example of a hard.
Don't sniff glue.
Don't. A really hard planet to do.
Stuff.
But it's important to remember that CIG have made it clear multiple times that actually a lot of planets across the verse were terraformed. And if they're terraformed, they don't have to make for every single planet that was terraformed, they don't have to make a unique planet. Right? They can just They reuse so much for every single planet that was terraformed, and that's going to save them a lot of time and effort.
It does. Not every system has to have planets necessarily.
It's true. Some won't.
They've got modular stations already.
There's at least one I know of that I don't think has any planets in it.
They've also got entire planets. There's planets that are entirely water. The entire planet is a water planet.
Yeah.
Except for land. That's not hard for them to make, right?
Yeah, not every planet has to be necessarily explorable.
The gigantic world-circling waves might take them a minute, but
actually, Shiver raises a good point. There will be some. No, it's true. There are some planets that, I'm sorry, you cannot survive on the surface of this planet. Period. It is too close to the sun. Gas giants. You cannot explore this. You can't.
I've been itching to go exploring Uranus with Eris, but so far he's been very reluctant.
Those are caverns that nobody knows the depths. Nobody knows the depths of those. So,
But no, you're right. There are going to be lots of systems where there's not really much habitation there. There aren't very many stations, so they can put a few outposts down on the planets, and then one or two stations, and then that's it, and you're done. And off you go to the next system. The only important part is you still need a reason to go there, so you do need to have the systems robust enough that it can generate missions, that it can generate resources in that system, that there are still things for players to do, even if there isn't a lot for them to build themselves.
And gas giants will be useful to skim for fuel, for example. There will be mining. There's going to be stuff, but they don't. But it saves them the time on building entire planets.
I want to go exploring on the sun, and then they said you can't do that. I said, well, what if I go at night?
And then they said, please try.
Yeah. So it's 100 systems. It's roughly 1,000 planets, give or take a couple hundred. But
I think it was 400 planets.
400. Okay, 400 planet, 100 systems, 400 planets. But let's say that a 1/4 of those planets are either unexplorable or terraformed. So, like, complete, they can just reuse all of the assets. There are, like, I mean, there's still a shit ton for them to do, but I honestly don't think it's as bad as we're making it out. Like, even a couple of years ago, we were thinking, like, it's going to take them 50 years to do all of the planets, right?
No, I just think that basically they just need to keep pushing their procedural tech constantly, to do more and more and more and more things procedurally. And I don't think they should ever take their hands off the wheel. In that, I always think there should be an artist who is supervising the creation of the planet, but I think there's a point at which you can go, okay, I'm going to paint a forest biome here. That then puts in these outposts that show up in forest biomes. It puts in these resources that I can mine in there, these animals, and those animals create encounters because, like, it all just sort of builds off itself, and they don't actually have to do those individual things. They just need to put a forest biome here.
Shiver?
That's exactly right. Exactly agree. Just, I know procedural generation's got a bit of a rep, and if you're doing 100% procedural generation and you're never checking on what's being made, that can lead to some funky results. But eventually, the more you do something manually, you can teach a program to do this automatically, and then you can just skim over it and look.
Well, and like Kimmy says, it's between the tools and the extreme amount of hiring that CRG are doing, and R&D and Turbulent and everything. Like, we've actually started to see the benefits of this already. Like, they've talked several times about the river tool, right? And when they started, like, the river tool everything had to be placed manually pretty much, and then they continued developing it to the point where they just say, like, okay, we want X number of rivers on the planet, the tool will build them, and then we just review each river, and we're like, yep, we do a quick flyover of the river, that looks good, oh, I want to change this point here, that looks like, but that's like, an artist could do all of the rivers on a planet in a day, and if you can get all of the rivers on a planet in a day for one artist, 400 planets, 400 days in a year. I know that these numbers don't make sense, like, but like, it's not unreasonable. Whereas before, like, if you had to place every river manually, that's going to take forever and 14 days. But they're doing.
Go ahead.
No. They're doing a lot of, like, they're doing all of the right work to get to where they need to be, is what I'm trying to say.
There's an old quote from Chris Roberts, but it sort of gives you an idea what his mindset has always, or seems to have been, about getting the planets done, and that was basically, we'll get all the tools built, and then we'll hire 100. Or I'm guessing at this point it'll probably be multiple hundreds, but 100 environment artists, and we will just do it as fast as possible from there.
Yep.
And that's what I think you're going to see in the UK with their giant new office. Is they'll finish off all the tools that they need, they'll get them into a good state, and then they'll massively staff up in environmental tech artists, and their job will be, you'll have a whole bunch of people, and their job will be to make star systems, and they'll make, like, the ideal thing would be for them to make 5 or 10 at a time, and then release them as they're ready, right?
I
But we'll see how it goes. I don't think that the amount of time they've taken to make the systems we know of is in any way related to how long it's going to take them to do like the next 10 or 15, you know.
Yeah, it's taken them a long time to do the first ones. They didn't have all of the systems. God, I hate landing on a planet at night. Like, is that where I'm supposed to go? Like, they really need to. I can't tell where I'm supposed to go to land.
They need more powerful. The ships need more powerful headlights, and some of them do have more powerful headlights. By the way,
but not just that. There needs to be an icon for the landing zone. Like, where is the fucking airport?
You need to look at the city, sir.
But I am looking at the city. The airport is off to the side. I think it's those three towers over there, but that's just because I've been there multiple times.
It is those three towers over there, and yes,
why? There should be an icon.
Yep.
There.
And I'm sure there will be eventually when they.
Okay, I just 30K'd.
Nice.
That's not great.
Ooh, I like your scan though. That was pretty cool. Apparently, your scan killed your connection.
It seems to, apparently. God, I don't know where I'll log. I just wanted to get into the cutter and look at a cutter. Because we looked at the Corsair last week, and I love it.
Yep.
I just wanted to look at a cutter.
By the way, I rented the Scorpius and the Mantis.
Scorpius is good. Yeah?
Scorpius is great, although it's very obvious when you're flying it that it really does need the second person for it to be super effective.
Right.
It's effective as a fighter, but it'd be way more effective with a second person. I'll put it that way.
Well, this is good because CIG seems to have gone down. Star Citizen, it's not letting me click on Entry Universe.
Just go back to the launcher and go back in.
No, it's not working.
Even from the launcher?
Oh, I guess I can quit back to the launcher. Exit game? Oh my god.
Yeah, no, usually you have to go out of the game and then go back in from there. You would despise the headlights in the Scorpius. They are worse than any ship I've seen. Yeah. I could hardly even tell they were on. It was bad.
They do really need to fix the headlights on so many ships. Like, there's so many ships that just don't even appear to have headlights. It's really bad.
I know.
Samuel, you raise another genuinely good point. If the UEE only controlled 37 star systems, CIG could reasonably start there. Like, these are the human controlled and a couple of alien controlled, like a couple of unexplored and a couple of alien controlled systems. But this is actually why I said, like, and I know my number's just been thrown out there, but this is why I said 50 for launch. Like, to me, that's, you've got some UEE controlled, you've got a couple of alien controlled, you've got a couple of unlawful. That's a decent, you can start with that. Like, here's
and a few unexplored. I think it's really, really key. I think it's absolutely key that they support the exploration gameplay by actually continually adding unexplored systems that are completely unknown.
And I, like, they said 100, right? And they talked about having 100 systems, and I really hope that they build the procedural generation tools to the point that they can add new systems relatively easily and add 10. I would genuinely like to see them add 10 or 20 new systems per year. Now these are new systems, completely unexplored. They don't have to have outposts. They don't have to have
you don't need any outposts. You don't need outposts. You don't need space stations. The problem with those systems, and this is where it's going to get a little janky, is each habitable world, keep in mind, Star Citizen has an unreasonable number of habitable worlds because they were terraformed.
Yep.
If there's a habitable world in a system that is unexplored, you go there and there are creatures and life forms there, they shouldn't look like the ones that are in existing systems.
They should not.
That is the one little hurdle.
But they can
create systems with no habitable worlds at all, which would make a lot of sense. There's going to be lots of resources, but
how many other like star systems have humanity discovered?
Oh, I don't know, trillions?
Well, like with planets.
Oh,
like how many? Couple
more
thousand.
Than 12.
We're in a couple thousand.
A couple thousand, I would think.
Yeah, but how many of those have planets in the Goldilocks zone that support our concept of life? Couple hundred.
Well, we don't really know at this point, but let's say probably a couple hundred. Oh, there's a lot of planets in the Goldilocks zone. A lot of them are the wrong size or the wrong distance from like there are other issues with them, but
yes.
Yeah, I would say probably one out of every
couple hundred.
Probably one out of every 10 star systems probably has a planet that could conceivably support some form of life.
But so CIG can run with that, right? Like 9 out of 10 of the new systems don't have any chance of life, right? And even the 1 out of 10 of those, it's a chance. Like they don't have to build a ton of new life, at least at the beginning, to make a lot of new systems because they have said
they could they could put in 5 unexplored star systems, none of which have any form of life in them, and that would be totally fine with everybody.
Exactly.
And yet somehow there'd still be a Starbucks there.
Oh, always. Yeah. In fact, you know what? There'll be a Starbucks like floating by through space, and you're just like, where the fuck did that come from?
And then there'll be another Starbucks on the opposite side, and you'll be like, but why?
Starbucks are everywhere.
For those of you well versed in George Carlin, you'll all know that is the end of the universe. The Starbucks across from the Starbucks.
And
sorry,
for those of
not
you,
George Carlin, that's Lewis Black. Fuck.
And for those of you well versed in the relay station, you'll know that this is actually the end of the show because we've been going for an hour and a half.
What?
I didn't actually get Star Citizen to run. We actually talked this entire show for what is genuinely the first. I'm sorry. Yeah. I really wanted to get on the cutter and show it, but the game's just not working for me right now. So we'll do that Tuesday instead. Shiver, what do you got going on?
Oh shit, it's a busy fucking week. Thursday. Oh god, he's disappeared, so he won't be able to correct me. Fuck. I think it's... I'll just look, because I can do that, because I'm not actually the one streaming. December 1st, which apparently is a Thursday. We will be doing part 2 of Aliens, Blood, Death and Robots. Friday, in your time zone, we will be doing next part of Vampire the Masquerade. We're heading towards the end, and we just had a very dramatic episode. I think that's it. Oh yeah, and of course, how could I forget? Monday in your time zone, good friend Softy is running his game of Shadowrun, all on twitch.tv/Table of Horrors. December is shaping up to be busy as well. I'm going to advertise it because, fuck, that guy's not here. No, Samuel, actually, they said that they might be releasing Bloodlines 2 next year. We have, in December, I'm doing, as Kemi pointed out, volunteer list if anyone wants to play in games run by me, which will not be streamed. They're just for funsies. We're offering Star Trek, Demon of Fallen, and a Vampire the Masquerade game. Head into Table of Horrors Discord if you want to sign up, or just let me know somehow.
I want to say that
you're telling me that you managed to be busy again.
Yep.
I want to say that I played in the first half of Love, Death, and the Robots. Is that what it's called? God, I'm sorry. You just said
Blood, Death, and Robots.
Blood, Death, and Robots. Sorry, I think Love, Death, and Robots is a Netflix series.
It is.
It is.
Yeah. The first half of Blood, Death, and Robots was incredibly fun, and I was an asshole and talked entirely too much, and I have no apologies. I caused many problems, and also was the best person in combat, period.
Nice. I like it.
Because Shiver made my character.
That would do it. That would do it.
Hey, Valkyrie. I want to quickly say a couple things. One, we will. I'm gonna pause it to all of you, but I would like to do some of the streaming Tuesday. I'd like to actually play some game because we didn't really get to today, because of reasons. So hopefully we can all we'll play some game Tuesday.
Yeah, play some game.
Play some game. And oh god, where here? I want to do this. I'm gonna copy this link.
Really creepy.
What? Oh, give me 1 second. So Tuesday I want to play, but in the interim, I'm gonna post. I apologize for making this a TikTok link. It's all I've got right now, but I'm gonna post the TikTok link to the first standalone bullshit episode where I rate the Aurora, because Eric, sorry, you wanted to say something.
I was just gonna say it's very unsettling that this week the calendar flips to December. And the week in the year inches closer to not existing anymore.
I'm really excited for December. Why?
I don't know. Every year I feel like this. I'm like, wasn't last year like 2009? What's going on here?
Yeah, that's fair. I really personal note here. I'm really, really excited for Christmas this year. So, Mac,
awesome.
my daughter knows about Santa Claus. We tried our hardest. We tried very hard. We kept it going. She figured it out last year when she was 10. She cried a bit.
When I figured
she
it
was
out
okay.
Too.
But she figured it out in a good place, and we explained it, and she's like, she's taken it great, honestly. But my son, Link, is 3. And 3 is like we're in the perfect age for, we don't have to put in a ton of effort. He just believes. And he believes without question. And he's so excited. And I'm well enough off that we've bought just too much shit for both of my children.
Nice. That's really nice.
It is, and I'm
Is
really,
Cass
really
doing the rapping though?
We're both doing the rapping, but mainly Cass.
Oh shit! Oh, that's right.
Mainly her. She honestly pulls like a lot of the. She does a lot more work than I. But like, I'm really like I'm literally crying right now. I don't know if you can I can't wait for him to have like a Christmas where there's just a ton of shit under the tree and he gets to just be a kid. And
It's a special time.
I'm
in
really
your life.
happy.
It's cool to you get to like relive it from his perspective, kind of, you know.
And yes, Kemi, you're right. This is why I'm tired. We were just out for 3 hours at a Santa Claus parade, so he could see Santa Claus at the end of the parade, and
Nice.
we, carried him for 3 hours because he wanted to be in our arms. And like,
Oh my god,
I am tired.
Shouldn't carry Santa Claus with your back.
Keep in mind, my family does a Christmas Eve every year, and I have been the Santa Claus at Christmas Eve every year for the last 20 years. Because guess what? I make a pretty fucking good Santa Claus.
I don't think you've appeared on Relay Station as Santa Claus, and I think that
you want me to?
Problem. Yes.
If you want me to,
more than life itself.
And I will. Shiver, especially for you, because I know that you don't get nearly as much Christmas as you would like in Japan. For you, I know.
I might have a picture of our tree, which bless my mother-in-law. She did go through the effort of, but
for you, specifically for you, Shiver, I will appear whenever our last Relay Station is before the holidays. I think we're going to take a bit of a break because CIG will be on hiatus, but we can always just hang out and play the game now, which is great. I will appear as Santa Claus. I promise you that.
Yeah, I haven't really talked about it on the show here, but I did play Star Citizen for 4 hours today, and I had a great time, and I flew all sorts of different ships. That is awesome.
I genuinely. Go ahead, Shiver.
There is one present under that tree, and it's for Takako.
But it's there. It's there, and it's at least.
And all the shit falls off the wall whenever we have an earthquake.
Anyway, I mean, no. Sorry, Kemi, I'm not going to spoil it. You know what? Oh man, no. Tune in next next Saturday. I will maybe talk a bit more about what's going to happen when I be Christmas Claus, Santa Claus. When I be Christmas Claus, this'll be the words that I be speaking. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm really tired.
People said my Scots accent was terrible. You kind of went Irish.
I
am Irish. Shivan.
I gotta share this with everybody.
My last name's technically McManus.
You can't be Irish, Italian, Canadian. You're just a mutt.
No, I'm Irish, Canadian, and Italian. I'm Irish, Canadian, and Italian.
Son of canals.
I'm Irish, Canadian, and Italian, which means I am genetically predisposed to alcoholism, whether it be wine, spirits, or beer. I am an alcoholic. It's in my blood.
So,
yeah, McManus.
Just so I can complain about it once it happens. But
Kemi, I don't know what's happening.
Calgary is going to see a 35-degree drop in temperatures in the next 5 days. So it's gonna be real cold.
Send it.
Holy man.
We still have temperatures up in the teens. The lowest it's been is 15.
It's supposed to snow every day this week.
Oh.
I'm gonna put out my Christmas lights tomorrow. It was actually like 10
I better do
today.
it, or I'm gonna freeze to death if I don't do it.
Anyway, I'm gonna end it here. Please come back Tuesday. We'll play some Star Citizen this time. This was a fantastic week. We had a lot to talk about. Genuinely, thank you, everyone. Seriously, thank you for coming and watching and hanging out.
Thank you.
This is genuinely one of my favorite things to do in the week. It's Shiver. Eric.
That's how bad his life is.
No, my life is pretty good. My life is pretty good. I've been able to get my children every single thing they possibly want at Christmas. I myself have been able to get myself every single thing that I want for Christmas. I wanted a Steam Deck.
How am I supposed to
guess
buy
what
you
I'm
something
gonna
now?
have? You can't. It's horrible. Cass gets angry at me every year. But like seriously, I love this. I love you all. Thank you, Kemi, Malkiri, Samuel, like everyone in chat. So I'm trying to scroll up and remember
Parker.
who's here. Urban Burger, Parker, yeah, Parker. Eric, like everyone. Thank you.
Wild Lurker.
Wild Lurker, yep. Seriously, thank you all for watching.
Let's just go through the fucking list of fucking everyone.
We should. It's no, but seriously, thank you for hanging out and watching and chatting. And if you don't chat, thank you anyway for watching. Like I love doing this. I love doing it with all of you. Shiver, Eric.
We love doing it to you too.
No one I'd rather do it with.
All right. Good night,
Bye,
everybody.
everyone, and we'll see you next week.
See you.